Hey there, my name is Jill and I'm a third-year undergraduate at the University of Washington. UW is a world-class research institution with some incredible resources. One thing that I've always found to be super cool is that UW is home to the Burke Museum, Washington State's Museum of Natural History and Culture. Now, I don't know much about marine ecology or natural history or even museums really, but I was given the incredible opportunity to go behind the scenes at the Burke with Melissa Frey.
Hi, I'm Melissa Frey. I'm the Collection Manager of Invertebrate Zoology at the Burke Museum of Natural History and Culture.
I am so excited to explore with all of you, so let's head to the Burke. And we've made it to the Burke. So Melissa told me that I can use this business entrance, which, I mean, honestly, a little bit intimidating.
It does say business, and I don't really know if that counts as me, but here we go. Let's try this little button thing. I think this is the button. Oh, it's ringing. I'm scared. Staff only.
Burke Operations, how can I help you?
Hi, this is Jill Kumasaka. I'm here to do a project with Melissa Frey today.
All right, come on in.
Thank you. And we're in. Well, almost. Now we're in. Woohoo! Okay, and there's Melissa. Hi, Melissa.
Welcome to the Burke.
Okay, so now we get to follow Melissa into an exclusive part of the Burke. I'm gonna follow her through this door. Hopefully I don't fall. Here we go.
So this is biology.
Okay.
Arachnology, entomology, genetic resources, herpetology, ichthyology, malacology, mammalogy, ornithology, and plants
Whoa!
and fungi.
That's so many ologies!
There we go.
Here we go.
Back to you.
But before we get any further into our tour, let's talk about what malacology is. Malacology is the study of mollusks, which are an invertebrate group that include, but are definitely not limited to, gastropods, aka snails, octopuses, and bivalves like mussels and clams. Snails make up the largest proportion of mollusks and account for an incredible amount of diversity, as you can see. Okay, now that we know what malacology is, let's go back to the tour. Learning labs, and that's where my class is going to take place, I think. I promise we'll talk more about class later, but let's go to the workroom with Melissa first.
The workroom is where Melissa and the rest of the Burke staff process and catalog species in the online database. This database is used by researchers around the world for various studies.
So Melissa, what exactly is this room?
So this is the collection storage room.
Okay.
It houses all of our collections. And this is where we store our collection of shells. And like I mentioned before, we have everything from gastropods, bivalves, cephalopods, chitons, and scaphopods.
One species Melissa showed me was the carrier shells, which are in the family Xenophryidae and translates literally to foreign carriers. These incredible species are able to cement pieces of their environment to their shell in order to camouflage and protect themselves from predators. Not only do we find urchin spines, pieces of shell, and rocks, we also saw glass and bottle caps attached to their shell, which is definitely a testimony to what's inside our oceans. The Burke collections are actually used in a lot of different classes through UW. One of my classes, Marine Ecology, taught by Dr. Jennifer Rusink, highly recommend, is one of those classes. So we actually got to go into one of the Burke Museum collections and check out some shells in order to better understand natural history and biodiversity, and also just look at some really amazing shells.
class, we investigated how size and weight differs between tropical species that bury in the sand and temperate species that don't. This gave us insight on what behaviors might be beneficial for tropical species versus temperate species, all just by measuring and weighing shells.
As a student in marine ecology, I had the opportunity to firsthand see how much can be learned just by taking the weight and length of shells collected hundreds of years ago. Before talking to Melissa, I honestly didn't understand why museums kept all the things they did, how they even kept all of it, or even what malacology was. But now I can see how these collections can be used to influence so many sectors, including education, research, art, and so many other things. I hope you learned as much as I did, and thanks so much for joining me on this adventure.